Hello and welcome to the preview show from RamsTV. Tonight Derby County will try to insert themselves into the League One automatic promotion race. The Rams are away at Plymouth, looking to move a step closer to the top two. With 12 games remaining, if Derby are going to make a move, you feel like they need to do it soon. They start the night 10 points behind the hosts, who in turn trail leaders Sheffield Wednesday by 3. The Owls do, though, have a game in hand. Ipswich, Barnsley and Wycombe all play later tonight as well. So it's an important evening in the promotion fight. Derby might have their work cut out against the side with the best home record in the division. More on that a little bit later, but let's start our build-up by looking ahead to the game with Derby midfielder Conor Hourihane. He started his professional career at Plymouth, but incredibly hasn't been back to home park since he left until tonight.
Yeah, incredible memories really. Seems a long time ago now. Had 3 great years there. Plymouth were the first club, I suppose, to give me first team action, which I'll always be hugely thankful for. It started my career. Peter Reid signed me, so thanks to him for that. But yeah, amazing times. You know, absolutely loved it there, and like you said, the start of my journey really, which is. And I haven't been back since, so I'm looking forward to going back actually.
You were made captain quite young as well, I think.
Yeah, I was 21, 22. The club was going through a bit of a funny period. I actually signed when they were in admin, close to losing the club really, if I'm being honest. Really kind of uneasy times, you know, all a bit of a whirlwind for me when you're kind of so young. Managed to get a takeover. Manager came in and yeah, made me captain. He obviously seen something in me so young, and yeah, it was a great time for me really. How
important were those years in sort of setting you on the journey, maybe turning you into the player that you ultimately became?
Yeah, huge. I think I was very fortunate early on. Peter Reid signed me. I know he wasn't there very long when I first signed, and then had Carl Fletcher, who was a centre midfielder who helped me a lot, who made me captain. Then John Sheridan came in, who was also a midfielder who helped me a lot in my game. So I think between the 3 of them, taking little bits and pieces from them as managers, but then also giving their knowledge to me as players was something that really helped me. One of the coaches called Nance is still actually there now, who I'd be dragging in on my days off to do extras to get better. So huge thanks to him for that, because that wouldn't have been easy, I'm sure, for a lad on a Wednesday asking him to come in on a day off constantly to try and improve. So huge thanks to him for that. I still text him now, great guy. So yeah, I've like I said, a lot of thanks for people down there, because it kind of moulded me into the guy I am today on and off the pitch. And
incredible really that you haven't been back since. What sort of a reception are you expecting, if any?
Yeah, it would be interesting. Like I said, you know, I've done a couple of podcasts and stuff for them over the years. Never actually been back, never actually played against them, never been drawn against them in the cup or anything. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure where we're staying when we get down there, but I'd like to have a little wander around to see if it was the same. I think it's like, I'm 32 now, I left at 22-ish, so 10 years probably. So I'd like to have a little wander around in the spare time, maybe tomorrow when we're waiting for the game, to see what it's like and relive the memories. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting back there.
And when you make of Plymouth right now, they're having a good season.
Yeah, they're doing really well. Credit to them. You know, they've had a really good manager. We played them obviously at the start of the season. They play a good style of football, and they've just been relentless in the results. Credit to them. You know, I know what it's like down there. It's you know, it's a big club. You know, big fan base. Travelling their numbers as well. Not easy for a player because you're constantly travelling 4, 5, 6 hours to away games. So hats off to them. They've done really well, and yeah, look, you know, like I said, they've done well, but hopefully come Tuesday night we'll manage to get one over on them.
You mentioned the game back in September, and one of the things that's been said about Saturday is that it was a bit of a missed opportunity for you guys. Do you feel that way about the game in September as well, 2-0 up at half time?
Yeah, possibly, probably them 2 games come to mind when you probably think of points dropped over the course of the season, being 2-0 up twice, obviously, like you said, Saturday and against Plymouth back along. So, yeah, hopefully we can, flip that on its head and come out on the right result this time around. We know it's not going to be easy. They got a good home record and they're in great form, obviously, in the position that they're in. But, we'll be up to the task, no doubt.
Do you see it as, an opportunity to really get yourselves back in the race for the top 2?
Hopefully. I think, I think people look at that and are eager for it and want it to happen, but it's tough. You can't win every game. Would it be a big result for us if we won there tomorrow night? Of course, it would be massive, and it would get us going again after the disappointment of Saturday. So let's just see what happens tomorrow night and gauge it after that.
Derby midfielder Conor Hourihane on the trip to Plymouth tonight. Well, Plymouth are enjoying a terrific season. They look on course to finally return to the Championship after a 10-year absence, after missing out on a playoff place on the final day of last season. They won on Saturday, having been thumped by Peterborough in their previous fixture. Their manager is Steven Schumacher.
It was well spoken about in the build-up to Saturday's game, and the fact that there hasn't been a dwelling on when times go wrong or bad, like a defeat. We've always bounced back and we've always responded and actually gone on fairly decent little runs afterwards. I'm guessing you're hoping for something similar for this next 7 days or so.
Yeah, it would be perfect if we could do that. But you're right, I think the way that the players have responded and the way we've reacted, I think we've got 13 points now, have we? Out from the 5, from the games right after the 5 defeats. So that's a really good record, and it shows that we don't dwell on things, or the odd bad performance that we have had has been maybe a blip. We put in a good performance on Saturday, but that's gone now, and we need to make sure that our standards are right for Tuesday night, because Derby County coming here are one of the best teams in the division. It's got so many good players and such a strong squad. So yeah, we have to forget about all of that, forget about starting a run, just focus on trying to win this next game.
The reverse fixture, this one was pretty spectacular. I'm guessing, well, I don't want that similar sort of thing to happen because my heart probably won't take it, but it was such a great game, wasn't it? Does that sort of epitomise what Derby and us are like a bit?
Well, I'd say they're completely different now, because Paul Warne went in pretty much, not right away after that, a couple of games maybe after that. I know he went in September time, didn't he? And yeah, they're a different outfit now. They look a completely different sort of style. And we know what Paul Warne's teams are always like. They're always like super fit, really well organised, and pretty much since he's been in there, they've been on a upward trajectory, if you like. So I can't see there being too much comparisons from the game. What I do remember from that game, though, is that we were really good on the day, which again, against a strong Derby County squad, everyone's got to be on top of their game, and I felt that we did play well on the day, even though we went 2-0 behind. I remember going in at half time thinking we're still in this game, and thankfully we had enough in us to go and get 3 goals in the second half, and we scored. Sam Cosgrove scored 2 late on, which was a brilliant start for him. I think it was his debut, so yeah, it was a good day, that one.
Well, that was the Plymouth manager, Steven Schumacher. If you thought Derby had a good home record, Plymouth's is even better. They've only lost once at home part this season. That was to Port Vale back in December. And they've won a remarkable 15 out of 17 games on home soil. In fact, say the hosts are favourites for tonight's game. Let's hear from Derby boss Paul Warne now. The head coach always trying to find the right balance when it comes to preparing his players, particularly with such a quick turnaround between matches this week.
Today, because of the turnaround and because of the messaging of the meeting today, it's probably about 25% on the game just gone, 75% on the next. However, obviously, if there wasn't a Tuesday game, it would all be 100% on Saturday's game. So, look, we need to get the messaging right about Saturday's game. I thought at times we're the best we've played. I thought we were outstanding. However, that 10-minute spell, we need to be better at. So there'll be a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of feedback, and again, let them know how good, how close they are to being outstanding. But we're close, but not close enough. So playing against one of the best teams in the league tomorrow night, we need to be at our very best.
Will there be things from Saturday that you'll maybe keep in the back pocket and come back to when the schedule is a little bit less relentless on you?
I'd like to say yes, because that would be an intelligent answer. My honest answer would be no, because we do keep a database with our analysts going forward of our best examples. We don't keep our worst examples, if you know what I mean, but we do keep best examples. So, for example, if we're pressing against a back three, look, this is how we did it 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. This worked really well. But the messaging today will be positive, but also a couple of negatives. I won't hold them negatives because I want to enjoy my life. So there'll be more negatives from tomorrow night. There'll be negatives Saturday. Every single game, there isn't one faultless display ever. So you sort of show the lads the negatives and sort of say, look, we could have done better here. If our shape would have been better, if our fullback would have been more narrow when the ball went down the other side, it wouldn't have been a problem in the cross cutting. And then, you show it to the lads, you talk to the lads about it a little bit, although they don't want to really talk to you about it in a group. They're happy individually, so I've got a couple of individual meetings after this. And then you just move on and hope they learn and improve and sometimes by osmosis get better.
Do you like to move on quickly from whatever the result was on the Saturday, win, lose or draw? Do you want to move on as soon as you can?
Yeah, well, personally I do, but professionally I do. I think that the lads need to see the good stuff from Saturday because they were outstanding. Apart from probably 3 attempts on goal, there isn't a lot of fault in our play. However, then the 3 attempts on goal could have a massive impact come Saturday. So you need that, come the end of the season, 2 points are massive. But you need the lads to realise that and the importance of that, but you don't want them to be obsessed with it that they get, so stiff in their shoulders when they play and get nervous. That's not what you want to do. You want the lads to be free, but also have a responsibility. And that's where the difficulty lies. It's an invisible line. It's the same with physicality. You want to push the lads. No one knows where the line of, break is. So it's a bit of everything. So I like to show them, but I like to move on. I like them to leave the meeting room today feeling really positive that we're a really good side. However, like every team has a weakness, and we need to address the weakness as much as our strengths.
We've talked before about how every game is a big game, but I know supporters are going to look at Tuesday night away at Plymouth and think big game. Big game.
I mean, in fairness, if we would have won Saturday, it's all ifs, buts and maybes, but if we would have won Saturday and we were to beat Plymouth Tuesday night, it's game on, isn't it, to try and challenge the top 3, let alone the top 2, it's game on. However, we didn't win Saturday, and if we don't win tomorrow night, the likelihood of us becoming in the top 2 is less and less likely. Not impossible, but less likely. You need a lot of things to go your way. So we do need a positive result, and I do understand why, as fixtures go, it's a big week. I know at the weekend, most of the top 4, I think, is at Ipswich, Bolton playing each other, and it might be Barnsley, Plymouth, I don't know, something like that. The connotations at the weekend, there's a lot playing each other. So if you could win Tuesday night and you could win Saturday, which are 2 very difficult games, you could be sitting here this time next week in a really good position. However, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We need to turn the coulda, shouldas into we dids.
That's Paul Warne. Here's your League One lineup for this evening. Barnsley host Portsmouth. Worth keeping an eye on Barnsley, who have games in hand on all the sides above them in the table. Ipswich welcome Accrington. Peterborough against Shrewsbury is 9th against 8th, while 7th place Wycombe welcome Fleetwood. And at Home Park, it's Plymouth Argyle against Derby County. Overseas viewers can watch the action with us on RamsTV. Get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. Kick-off is 8 o'clock, a little bit later than usual, so Matchday Live is with you from 7:30. See you then. Goodbye. Settle in for the longest away trip of the season. In addition to being over 4 hours and 250 miles away from Hyde Park, Plymouth has a few notable distinctions as a football destination. It's the largest city in England with a league club that has never hosted a top-flight team. It's also the most southerly and westerly club in England. Known simply as Argyle, before Plymouth was added in 1886, Home Park has been the club's home since the early 1900s. It survived heavy bombing during World War II and has regularly been redeveloped in the years since, including recently under current owner, the Plymouth-born, American-based businessman Simon Hallett. The club's nickname and crest links to the other side of the Atlantic too. They're known as the Pilgrims, after the English religious group that left from Plymouth for the New World in 1620, with the club badge featuring the ship they sailed on, the Mayflower. And this has been a third-tier fixture before, back in the 1985-86 season, when Plymouth did the double over the Rams, including a 4-1 win at home park.